Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner, and this is my review for Growing Up Hip Hop, the LA Cast, Season 3, Episode 4, titled Gossip Girl. This episode, look, let's get things out the way. If you have not done so already, please take a moment and subscribe to my channel. It does not cost you anything. You just get notifications when I have new content up. New reviews and new videos. You just hit the subscribe button and that is it. You can also share my videos by just hitting the share button. You can share it on Twitter, Facebook, or whatever other social medias except Instagram, of course. You can also like my videos by just hitting the like button. There's also a comment section below, so please feel free to put your comments in the comment section. The only rule is to please be respectful to me and anyone else who is making comments. So, this episode, it started off cool. You know what I'm saying? I want to like this show. But some of the people on it just gets on my damn nerve. We're going to get into Mary J. Blige's future ex-husband's daughter in a second. But it does start off right where it left off last time, where Master P was talking to the dude, Lil One, or Lil One Shorty, or whatever his name is, the cousin. And he's just basically asking him why he fought Romeo's friend. And he basically said, look, I don't have friends. All I have is family. And when I saw the guy, sorry, I'm pushing stuff on my phone. When I saw him ball his fist up at Rome, I swung first. Me being the hot-headed cousin, I get that. Sometimes your hot-headed cousin sees someone about to do something and they react first. And even sometimes after the situation, they do realize they were completely in the wrong. But they had good intentions. I understand if you see someone about to swing on your people and you swing first. However, he could have balled his fist up because he was just ready for you to punch him because you looked aggressive. So, it goes both ways. He did, however, admit that, he knew he was wrong. He shouldn't have did it. And, he did apologize. Now, Master P, I understand he was trying to talk to Lil One to get him to understand, the ramifications of what could have happened had things escalated. Had someone got shot, had someone got stabbed, had someone fell down the stairs and broke their neck. A lot of things can go wrong when you simply swing on somebody or you simply start a fight in whichever way. And I get Master P trying to have him understand that. But, he also came off mad judgmental. Even he like, if you get into with me, you gonna shoot me. Somebody, bigger than you, come up, you gonna go get your gun and shoot them. And I'm like, well, where did it come from? Where did it come from? Clearly the dude, Kendrick, was bigger than Lil One. When Lil One swung on Kendrick, he had to swing up because Kendrick was, taller than him. He was a bigger guy. I don't think that had anything to do with it. He would have been better off saying, what if you outnumbered? You gonna shoot everybody? You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't see the reason for him going all into that. As if when he was talking to Lil One was still on some rah-rah, I'ma fight whoever, I wasn't wrong, I did what I had to do. He wasn't really on that tip. He was more listening to Master P and saying, he knew he was wrong. He knew he shouldn't have did that. He knew he could have made things worse, but he felt like he was protecting his cousin because he thought someone was going to swing. I get that. You know what I'm saying? And he apologized to Rome. He also apologized to Master P. Even Master P said in his confessional, Love will need to understand, when you with us, we the bosses. And, when you were underling, basically, you don't make a move until the boss tell you to move. I get that, too. Sometimes when you were the crew, you have to follow suit. I completely get that. He don't work for y'all. You not his boss. At all. And you wasn't even there. So, I get he was maybe saying you should have waited for Romeo to say what to do. Romeo wasn't on that tip at all. And truth be told, If Kendrick would have swung on Romeo, someone would have then said, y'all ain't protect him. Y'all ain't see that coming. You know what I'm saying? It could have went both ways. And I think Master P needs to not make it such, a big deal, so to speak, because it could have went the other way. He could have saved Romeo from that boy swinging on him. Who knows? But then even when he was like, you could have jeopardized our whole organization, our whole thing. How much you think my monthly bills are? And he like, I don't know. I know they're more than mine. He was being honest. And I feel like he also felt a little bit belittled. Because I'm like, what did your monthly bills have to do with this conversation? He like, I know they're more than mine. He like, how much is my monthly bills? Why are you yelling, Master P? Calm down, little, I almost got caught up. Calm down, little moccasin. He like, I don't know, 10,000 a month. He like, my bills is $1 million a month. Okay. Congratulations. He like, I'm not going to jeopardize that for nobody. And again, I honestly, this is from my personal opinion. This is my page. This is my review. This is my personal opinion. I don't feel like Lil One was trying to ruin anything. And when he first walked up to P, he said, I feel like Kendrick know y'all have money. He was trying to fuck with that. That's what he said. So my thing was, he was still trying to protect his family. He might be the hot head. He might be the little crazy cousin. But sometimes he didn't seem, in this instant, in this conversation, like he was on that rah-rah bullshit. And I just wish Mr. P would have been able to hear him say he knew he was wrong. Hear him apologize and not have made it an issue as if he was still trying to be like, rah, let's go kill him and get him and fight. And he wasn't even on that tip. Master P just ended it by saying, you can't be around me, you can't be around my kids, and you can't respect us. I don't think he didn't respect y'all. I think he respects y'all enough to know if he thinks somebody trying to put dirt on your name or trying to hit your son, he just reacts. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy that he was also smart enough to apologize and to say, I shouldn't have swung on him. I shouldn't have did that. I wasn't thinking. My bad. I was wrong. So, yeah, we had that whole conversation. So, next we see, Egypt, TT, that dude that's a hairdresser who be gossiping, and, Mary J. Blige, ex-husband's daughter, and they're at Egypt and Pepper's house doing yoga. And, after yoga is over, TT is clearly the gossiper. Hence why this episode was called, what was it called? Gossip Girl? Yeah, Gossip Girl. TT run her goddamn mouth. TT ain't even been on the show but 2 episodes. And this bitch is in everybody's bitch and she has everybody's 411. She's just a gossiping fool. I don't mind a person who is around people all the time and all their business. I get that. Everybody has that one friend who know everything and talks about it amongst people who they cool with. What I don't ever like is a new person coming into a situation and gossiping about people you really don't know. My thing is, you new to this show. You don't know Christina. You don't know Boogie. You don't know Angela Simmons. You don't know them people. You know of them. Like, I know of y'all. I don't know y'all. But she's just a gossiping little, she's a gossiping so-and-so. And it's very fucking aggravating. Only because, bitch, you don't know them people, TT. Okay? You don't know them people. You need to get to know that goddamn hairdresser and get you a new weave. Because that thick-ass weave you got gets on my nerve. Your weave look like you was just riding on the freeway with the windows down and it was blowing around. Your weave always looks like you need a weave brush and you need to brush it down. I just don't like your weave. It's just too thick. Get that shit fixed. Anywho, so, they're sitting around and she's like, Egypt, I know you don't like gossiping and stuff, so you might want to, if you want to excuse yourself, go ahead. I would have been like, bitch, this is my house. If y'all want to gossip, y'all can go. Bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? You can't go excuse me from my own goddamn house. But Egypt was like, no, I can see here what's going on. TT, the new person, proceeds to say how she was out on a date with Booby. And Brianna, like, I don't think he's a good fit for you. Brianna, shut the fuck up, okay? Because you next. She goes on to say how Boogie they were on a date. He has a second DUI. First of all, you wasn't there for his first DUI. So, clearly you watched the show. because you know what was going on through the show. He got a second DUI. So that's the first time that you was telling somebody else's business that you really shouldn't have. Then she goes on to say, yeah, Egypt, I know you like Christiana, but you shouldn't be hanging out with her. You know how she out here thotting and sleeping with married men. First of all, why she got to be a thot? Now, I know thot is a term. I know, because I say sometimes, I be like, bitches out here thotting and bopping. I know it's a phrase, and you might not really mean it like that, but you meant it like that. You meant like she out in these streets thotting and bopping in real life. And you heard a rumor from a hairdresser. You don't know that man. So how you spreading words based on somebody else you don't know, about somebody you don't know, and then you go into their friends spreading this shit? I don't like rumors. I like facts. Okay? I don't like rumors. I don't like rumors from people who don't know people. You don't know that girl. Anywho, so, and I'm like, and you just got to town. You only been on the show for 2 episodes, bitch. How is you the goddamn gossiping queen of the goddamn show already? It's just very, very stupid. And then they went from Christiana saying how she's fucking the producer who's married, and she said something about how they were at a party and the wife came. I don't know if that was a joke she was trying to say, because they didn't elaborate on nothing. And usually if they're talking about something that happened, they'll go into detail, and they didn't. I think she was just trying to be funny. They go from that to talking about Angela. Again, somebody that you don't know. And this talking about how Angela was Angela was not a virgin, how she bought her own engagement ring, and how her man was in prison, so he got out of prison and bought her a wedding ring. We don't know when that man was in jail. And we don't know what he did when he got out of jail. A person going to jail does not mean when they get out, they can't get a job and get some money. Not everyone get out of jail and just be destitute and can't do shit and be broke. That ain't, because I'm just assuming she wouldn't even be able to meet that kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. He might not be rich, but he not fresh out of prison like last week with his hair braided up and then they started dating. Come on now. Y'all stretching this shit. And then Brianna saying, I won't ever let Angela live it down how, she said she was a virgin and how she got pregnant on her first time having sex. You don't know that lady pussy, okay? You don't know who she fucked, who she didn't fuck, how many times she had sex, if she did or did not get pregnant on her first time. What we do know is, until she got pregnant, to anyone's knowledge, she was a virgin, okay? Even if she wasn't a virgin, she was a goddamn virgin. You can't be judging people. And sometimes a person will say they can be a virgin, and if they lose their virginity, it ain't their place to come out and put out a damn public service announcement saying, I gave my coochie up, I'm no longer a virgin, I started having sex 2 weeks ago. She don't have to do that at all. Everybody not out here giving their coochie up like Brianna. Everybody ain't out here doing that. So my thing is, y'all just don't like that girl. It ain't that she don't like y'all. Not even y'all. Brianna, you don't like that girl. And to be like, you won't forgive her. Bitch, she don't live for you. You don't pay her bills and she don't pay yours. Who she fucked don't give you an orgasm. So why do you care when she lost her virginity and when she got pregnant with her child? Brianna's a messy bitch. She's a messy, messy bitch. But she's a messy bitch around people who she not talking about. That's when she's a messy bitch. Because if you really didn't like Angela, when you saw her at that party, you would have let her have it. But you didn't. You walked away because you know you're looking for just a storyline. Because your whole storyline is how you don't like Angela Simmons. That is your whole storyline. That's it. Okay? You can't talk about your daddy or his future ex-wife, Mary J. Blige. You can't talk about that. You're single. You can't talk about that. I don't know what you do as a job because you're never at work. So your whole storyline is Angela Simmons. Angela might be snooty. She could be bitchy or whatever. But from my point of view, again, this is my channel. It's my review. She ain't did shit to you. Because my thing is, if she did, it would be on the show. Okay? The fact that Angela and Romeo are producers of the show don't mean that WeTV is not going to show good ass parts. Okay? If they fussing and fighting, they gonna show that. So if y'all got into it, and if it was an issue, oh, they gonna show it. The same way they had the audio of you two talking, they gonna show it. So it seemed like it's your issue. I got all off because Brianna pisses me the fuck off. So Egypt is in her confessional. She's also saying how, she hates hearing them talk all this shit about her friends, basically. And she's like, TT, you new to the group. So, you should watch out because Karma's the bitch. Now, when your own people tell you that you're doing too much, you're doing too much. Because you are. And again, you talk now, if I was Egypt, I would have cussed all of them out. The hairdresser, you got to get the fuck out. Mary J. Blige, future ex-husband's daughter, you gotta get the fuck out. TT, fuck you too. Because my thing is, I'm not gonna let anybody talk about my friends. Okay? And not even you gossiping. Okay? It ain't gonna happen. That's not how my friendships works with anybody. So, they then asked Brianna if she's going to Vanessa's fashion show. And she said that she's not gonna go because she feels like if she goes, she's going to address Angela. And she's going to ask her, why she don't like her. Because she has heard that Angela has been going around saying how she don't like you. She probably don't like you because of the shit that you say about her. I can't see, and again, this is my personal opinion. This is my review. I can't see Angela worried about Brianna. I can't. I mean, she has a whole child. She has a fiance. We know that there's something going on within that situation. Something's going on. She's dealing with that stuff. We see how she's not that close with her sister. So my thing is, I'm willing to bet, out of all the problems she may have in her life, not one of them is Mary J. Blige, future ex-husband's daughter, Brianna. So, but I'm pretty sure if someone asked her about you two, I'm pretty sure she would say, I don't fuck with her. Because she doesn't. And technically, you don't fuck with her either. So what does it matter? But again, Brianna gets on my fucking nerve. So, the next thing we see is Vanessa's meeting with their sister. I think her name was Darian or something. I wrote Daryan, and I can't remember how they pronounced it. But it's the other sister. It's their mom's daughter. Not Rev Ron's daughter, the mom's daughter. Their mom's daughter. And, she's walking into her show. She's having a fashion show, as we know. And Vanessa and Darian, I'm going to say Darian. I might be pronouncing it wrong. Please, my apologies. I think it's Darian. I'm going to say Darian. Vanessa and Darian is having a conversation. And, Darian is saying how her and Angela have never had a close relationship. How they've never really got along. And how she's reached out to Angela over the years. But her and Angela has always had this distance. I think sometimes when certain siblings have the same parents, like you have the same mother and father, sometimes you are closer to those siblings versus when one of your parents has another child, so to speak. Sometimes it's a little bit different. It's just that is how it can be. I have half siblings on my biological father's side that I'm not like beefed out with them, but because they weren't raised with me and my siblings, who have the same parents, I just don't talk to them. Love them to death, but we're just not close. So I can understand how that can be an issue. But also my siblings are way younger than me, so, it was just different or whatever. And, it was just different. So I can get how there can be a little bit of I can get how it can be sometimes some weirdness, some distance. Because it can depend. Like if Angela and Vanessa was raised with Rev Run and Justine and Diggy and, and all of them, like if they on that side and they're kind of raised together, but your mother has a daughter with, her new husband, and y'all kind of being raised in separate households and stuff like that, it can be different. It can be a little different. It can also be a thing of if there's an age gap. Because if I'm 35, if my little sister is 19, it's a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? It can be a thing, not to let the age difference. But, I just get it. Not saying it's okay. It's never okay to not be close to your family because family is family. But you can see it's not one-sided. Because even as the sister, Darian, is talking about Angela, I can see it's kind of some animosity, some hurt, some whatever behind her words. Vanessa is also saying how she hasn't talked to Angela much and how there's also distance between them. and things like that. So Darian was saying how Angela should be the one to reach out and fix it. That she feels like she shouldn't have to beg anyone to be her sister or be her sibling. You are absolutely right, Ma, and I can't even answer. I can't even argue with you about that. That is very true. However, I also believe sometimes you have to let that go. You know what I'm saying? You have to let it go so that it doesn't hinder you from having relationships with either other people or with that person if in the past y'all wasn't so close and there was some kind of barrier. Next, we see Egypt meeting up with Christiana, and they're just kind of at like drinks or whatever, and Christiana saying, "Oh, I think TT's cool." And the funny part is Egypt in her confession saying, "Well, you wouldn't know that. You say that if you knew what you said behind your back." And I see what I didn't like about that is if you have the balls to talk about my friend in front of me, you should understand that when I see my friend, I'm going to tell my friend what you said. And I'm not happy that Egypt didn't let Christiana know what was happening behind her back. If you my friend, you should do that. Can't nobody on this green earth have a conversation about my best friend or about my friends in general. And if I hear it, I'm not going to say something. I'm going to check the person talking first. And after I check their ass, I'm going to let my friend know what's going down. Now, I have a small circle. Like, for instance, my best friend. She's a singer. When I go to her shows, I try to make sure that people don't know who I am when she's up there singing. I be sitting around, let a bitch say something crazy about Karla. What you say, that's me. Or, I've had people say things about me and my friends, what I'm saying, they hit me, I'm like, so-and-so said this. And I'm like, I had no idea that's how they felt. I think as a friend, you should always let your friend know when someone who they associate with isn't a true friend, because you don't want to have people in your circle, in your life, in your space breeding that goddamn negativity. So you should want to be sure that no one is not in your face but trying to stab you in the back at the same dang on time. It's not a pretty sight when you find out people knew stuff and they didn't tell you, because it makes you question their friendship. Like, why didn't you tell me? That's the kind of thing that happened. So anywho, they're talking about this random stuff, and they did mention, if Angela was coming to, everybody talking about Angela, but they did bring up, hopefully Angela can come to Vanessa's show. And I think Egypt said, well, I hope nothing's wrong with her. I hope everything's okay. And Christiana like, why you think something's wrong? She's like, well, she doesn't show up to stuff as much. Even when she came to your party, she didn't stay long. She didn't come to this. She didn't come to that. She didn't come to stuff because she don't want to fuck with y'all. And I think it is things that could be wrong, and she's handling life. I think some people forget that life happens. And while y'all out there partying and having fun, this girl got a whole new baby at home. You know what I'm saying? And it's a whole, like, even Vanessa's child, her daughter is, a few years old. Angela, at this time, when this was when the show was being shot, her son he couldn't have been no more than, he had to be 6 months or less old. Because I think even now, he's not even 1 yet. So she had a new baby. She's a new mom. You have postpartum. You have, you can have breastfeeding issues. Your child can be sick. So much goes into having a child after the fact that people who don't have children, or people who don't understand it, because I don't have kids either, but all my friends had children. My sister has a son, and I'm like a motherly person, so I can understand stuff like that. I feel like they want her to still be the same cool Angela who hanging out in these streets with them and partying. Not even partying, but she's still hanging out, and she got a whole another person relying on her. It's different for her. Point blank, period. So Christiana was like, I don't think anything's wrong, but hopefully she'll be there. We see Brianna, who, as y'all know, I call her Mary J. Blige, future ex-husband's daughter. She's meeting up with Boogie, and she says she wants to meet up with him to make sure that he does not have a drinking problem. Man, when I say I cracked up laughing hearing her say that, because, bitch, you have a drinking problem. You've had one since last season. It's not as bad as Boogie's, where you out here getting DUIs, but you still will go to a party and get too fucking drunk and act a fucking fool. And you think it's cool because that's just what you do. I mean, He get drunk and he drive, which is fucking stupid. You get drunk and you start shit. So y'all both have a drinking problem. So you can't check on him if you're not checking on yourself first. So, you know, but you still should check on your friends who have drinking issues. I completely understand that. I just don't like Brianna. So they're having conversations and she just starts laying in. You know, first you telling him, you know, that TT told her or them about his DUI. And he like, she out here eavesdropping on my conversations, spreading rumors, telling people my business, and I don't think she should do that. She then also tells him how she doesn't think that he should date TT. Why you taking dating advice from her? She was the same person who was going to go back to that man who beat her. So I don't think she has the best dating advice. Even though she left him alone, thank God, because you should not be with someone who abuses you, point blank, period. She also tells him from that conversation how TT told them that Christiana is fucking a married man, the producer Adonis. People is running with this thing. They're running with this rumor. I'm not saying it's a rumor because it's not true, because I don't know that lady. I don't know her vagina. But you can't keep repeating the rumor you heard from a hairdresser that you just met. That ain't how life works. That's exactly how rumors start, and people believe it because people hear one thing and then they run with it without fact checking, without asking that person, you know what, I heard so and so. Is it true? That's what you can do if that's your friend. Otherwise, you close your ears, you keep it moving. So, they're basically talking about that, and he's kind of like, well, dang, you know, TT out here just talking too much, and, you know, it's crazy. She then goes into, you know, the whole DUI situation, and, you know, have you told your father? He's like, no, I haven't told him yet. I'm trying to get some things worked out. And then she's like, well, you were man enough to get a DUI. He was like, no, I was drunk enough, and that's how I got it, which is true. So, you know, whatever. How much do I have left? Lord Jesus. What else do we have on here? We do see Angela and Vanessa having a conversation at Vanessa's show. And Angela's still saying, you know, how she knows she has not made much time for Vanessa. She admits that. She's also saying how, you know, and the reasoning for it is like, everything in my life happened so fast. It did. People said that too when it did happen. They said how she was dating some guy. Then she was pregnant. She was dating some guy. Then she was engaged. Then she announced she was pregnant. That's a lot to happen to a person who was very private. Who went from no one knowing her personal life to her having to really say, hey, yeah, I'm engaged. Hey, I'm not a virgin anymore. I'm pregnant. That is a lot to having a baby and having to deal and live in this relationship and be a mother to a real life whole human being. So she was just saying how she kind of had to isolate herself because her things in her life changed so quick. And I feel like for her, it probably was overwhelming. And again, she could have had postpartum. But, you know, she was saying how, you know, when Vanessa said, you know, Darian is here in the other room, she's going to be walking in my fashion show too. And Angela admits how she didn't know that she was there. It's kind of surprising. She says that her and the other sister does not have, you know, the closest relationship. But again, she wants to fix it. And, you know, she then goes in to speak to the other sister. And it was so fucking awkward because it seemed like the girl wasn't speaking back. And Angela was then like, hey. And she wasn't speaking back. And it was like Angela kept saying stuff and the girl just wasn't responding to her. And my thing is, if you was in one episode, when one thing saying, you know, Darian was saying how they weren't close, it should be fixed. Angela need to be the one to reach out. If she's in there talking to you, why are you ignoring her? So for me, that took me back to when Vanessa said, you know, sometimes Darian has this thing about her where she feel like she's too cool to talk and do things like that. I got that from that scene. Because my thing is, that's your sister. If I'm mad at my sister and she walk in, she say, hey, Jaylee. I'm saying, hey, Veronica. I'm going to at least speak, but I'm not going to ignore her. And she ignored her as if she wasn't standing there. And then when she did start talking, she had like one word answers. So I was from the same way, and I would have felt the same way Angela did, and I would have just walked away. So that's basically what she did. And because the girl didn't speak to us, it was hella awkward. We see another scene where Boogie is calling Romeo. He's leaving him a message. Because he said, like, when he had the first DUI, that he called Romeo, and Romeo had some good advice for him. So he was trying to do that again. He's like, hey, I need to talk to you, about some things. And in his confessional, he's saying, my dad is trying to hand me the keys to the family business. It was this weed business. And, I'm scared because he doesn't know about this DUI. The first thing I thought to myself, because he was saying how he didn't want to ruin it, your dad has not started this weed business. Your dad told you about an idea of starting a weed business in Nevada, in Las Vegas. He ain't did shit yet. You have time to fix it. So you acting like your dad is the president of Rockefeller Records right now, and he like, I'm stepping down today. I need you to finish Jay's album. That ain't what he doing. He's come to you with an idea of a possible business venture that can be lucrative. But don't act like he gave you the keys to the kingdom at that point in time. Calm down, booby. They are at Vanessa's show. We do see that Christiana does bring Adonis. Okay. TT sees them together, and TT's talking to the other lady. She's saying, how, I want to kind of try speed dating because, I'm single. So, I think it was Christiana, TT, Teddy Riley's daughter, and I can't think of what was in that scene. Saying, we should all try that. I think that would be cool. And TT kept being shady because every time Christiana saying, because I'm single too, we should do that. Oh, you're single? She's like, yeah, I'm single. She's like, you're single? She's like, yes, I'm single. Bitch, how many times you gonna ask me if I'm single, and I'm gonna keep saying yes? So for me, that's TT being shady. We do see that Angela walks in to the show, and she said, she wants to fix the relationship with her sisters, but she knows tonight is not the night to do it. So she's like, she's not going to address anything that night. She would wait. Next, we see a scene where Romeo is talking to his dad about the whole fight situation, and he's just saying how, he's at a point in life where he just wants to have peace. He doesn't want to have conflict. He doesn't want to have anger. He doesn't want to have people upset with him and things like that. So he wants to fix the situation with Kendrick. And, he's like, I want to be a man about it and apologize. And Master P's like, it takes a real man to do that, to want to not have issues. He's like, I know how that goes. I got one brother that's dead, one brother in jail. So, it's a good thing for you to be my son. You want to be a man and apologize. So Romeo sends a text to Kendrick, just, apologizing for what happened, saying that he wished it did not happen that way. And, how he was just sorry. You know what I'm saying? My bad, man. I'm sorry. Didn't want that to happen. Sorry that it did. And he apologized. I thought that was really great. Really a good gesture. What's next? We do see the next scene. TT still being childish. TT was talking to Peppa, telling Peppa about Boogie's DUI. Just telling everybody's business. Still talking about Christiana and his man. About how, she brought Adonis here too. And Peppa grown ass needs to stay out of kids' mess. Even she was saying, I don't know, it's none of my business, but I do want to know. Like, I do want to ask her just because I want to know. Nosy. So that was the whole little thing. We see a scene with with Boogie going to Romeo's house. They're outside playing basketball as Boogie's telling Romeo about his DUI. And, how he hasn't told his dad yet. How he's kind of scared about it. And, how he is going to have to do some more working to get money. Because Rome was like, are you going to just ask your dad for the money? He like, no, I want to do it on my own. I don't want to ask my father. And Romeo was saying in his confessional, I know what it's like because I had to go through that with my dad and lawyer fees. I know how lawyer fees can keep, getting higher and higher and higher. And, I can understand that. Boog does bring up how TT was telling people about his DUI. And he like, she was basically ear hustling. And, she told Egypt and them about it. And I'm not trying to have everybody know about it. She's out here, gossiping basically. And, Romeo tells him, as I said earlier, you shouldn't want anyone around you who's talking about you behind your back. You should have only positive people around you. He also said, you should talk to your dad. Let him know what's going on. So, yeah, we have that whole scene. And I thought that was good. You talk to your friends and let them know, hey, I got this issue. I don't know what to do about it. And, people talking about it. And, Romeo gave him some sound advice. Get you a good lawyer. You got a good lawyer. Pay your good lawyer. You have people talking about you behind your back. Don't let them be in your circle. Let that be. TT a messy bitch. And, it's going to come back to bite her in the butt. So, the next... we did, Vanessa's show was good. Everything was cool with that. Next, we see the ladies at speed dating that TT wanted to set up. TT and Mary J. Black, I'm gonna stop saying that. TT and Brianna is at the speed dating thing first. So TT is letting Brianna know, well, she invited. She's like, I invited, Christiana is coming, and also Deja. Deja is Teddy Riley's daughter. And I keep forgetting her name, but that's her name. And, Brianna is like, why would you invite people I don't fuck with? I don't like them. And then she's like, and I'm just not in the mood to be around Christiana. How can you not be in the mood to be around your friends? Because if Christiana's your friend, how could you talk about her as if, I don't want to be around that bitch. I have people who I don't want to be around. I don't label any of those people as friends. They're like associates. But, to me, that was some bullshit. So, Deja walks in first. And, she says, hi, and she goes sit down. And you can see this on Brianna's face. So they just like, what is your problem? Like, what's wrong with you? Basically, bitch, what you grunting for at me? I don't even know you. And she was like, I have the right to not like people. And they like, you sure do. And she kind of turned around and was like, whatever. Because who got time to argue with a drunk bitch? No one. Christiana walks in and she's like, hi everyone. Christiana's a bubbly freaking soul. So whatever. She walked in, she's like, hey, everything. So when she sit down and Brianna's like, are you single? And she's like, yeah. And Brianna said, well, the word on the street is that, you messing with Adonis. And Christiana's like, he's just my business partner. I'm not messing with him. And she's like, are you sure? And she's like, yes, I'm sure. Because people are talking. And she was like, yeah, that's how rumors start. She's like, but no, he's my business partner. And Brianna's like, well, you shouldn't. No, Christiana in her confession was then saying, no, I can't believe that Brianna's doing this. Bring this up to me. I thought we were friends. Why would she say I'm sleeping with my producer who's married? Back at them talking, Brianna's saying, well, you probably shouldn't bring him with you when you go places. And Christiana was like, that's what you do when you work with someone. Y'all go to different events together. Which is true. That is what the fuck you do. But Brianna wouldn't know that because she just Mary J. Blige, Future's husband's daughter. But Brianna did say to her in a nice way. She meant it. She was like, don't bring it up again, okay? And then, because my thing is, bitch, don't bring it up. Because I just told you that's not what's going on. So, from there, Brianna's like, this is why I don't like you. And this is why I thought we were friends. And she's getting all up in arms about me bringing it up. I should be able to ask her. But you asked her. She said no. And you kept asking like she was lying. If you ask someone a question, let them answer it and leave it at that. And then Brianna had the audacity to say, Adonis has the name of a Greek god, but the face of a bulldog. But Brianna, so do you. Okay? You ain't all that pretty. You not ugly. Not saying you ugly. But you can't be out here talking about people's looks all willy-nilly. Okay? And Brianna's just a negative, mean-spirited bitch. Like, I don't know how else to... she was the same way last season. You didn't see much of it only because she was going through the whole thing with the boyfriend. But she's the fucking bitch. Christiana was saying how she notices that Brianna is really friendly to a person's face, but behind their back, she's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? She's very fake behind someone's back. So, they're doing the whole speed dating thing, and Brianna finds a guy that she likes. It's like the first guy in the speed dating thing. But in speed dating, they switch people. So you get so much time with one person, and then it switches. So when they switch, she's like, well, I don't want to meet anyone else. I want to keep talking to him. That ain't how it works. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. So, they switching. So as she's talking to a new person, the guy who she likes ends up getting paired at a table with Christiana and Daisha. And, the guy she's sitting with now, it's like asking her questions like, are you mean? And she's like, I can be a raging bitch sometimes. And he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, would it be entirely rude if I, just got up and left? And he was like, well, yeah, it would be rude. And she was like, well, you know what? I'm working on myself, so I'm going to get that fixed. And she's getting up and walking away. Bitch, you at speed dating? What? Okay. So she then scurries her little ass over to the table where Christiana and Daisha are talking with two other guys. And she pulls up a chair and she sits down. TT then comes sits down too. And it was awkward as fuck. And Daisha thinks that TT likes the guy. And she's like, did you want to talk to him? And Russ like, And she's like, oh, you want? Okay. She's like, if you want him, whatever, I don't care. You know what? Thank you. Even though I don't like you, I might like you later. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. Bitch. To me, it was just some bullshit. And so Daisha was like, you can have it. I'm done. Because my thing is, Brianna is always looking for a scene. Because, again, she don't have no fucking storyline. So she gets up and she walks away. So Christiana like, I'm not finna sit here with her. I'm done. I'm over it too. And she gets up to leave too. Brianna bitch ass then say, Christiana, I hope you're not still fucking that old man. Bitch, when I tell you that would have been a fight for me, I would have at least snatched her ass. I can't be fighting. I'm too old for that. But again, Christiana was like, in her confessional, she's like, you know what? At this point, I'm done. I would have been done with Brianna. Been done. The funny part is going to be, she ain't going to have nobody else to shoot with. Except TT, until they cancel TT ass off, and she ain't got shit to talk about either. It was just so fucking stupid. So, the last scene of the evening, Angela, Vanessa, and the sister, I can't think what her name is right now, is having a meeting so they can talk about their relationship. So, Angela starts off first, and she's talking to them, and she's trying to be honest. She's kind of crying. She's saying, I know our relationship is different. I know it's suffered for years, and we can't be that way. I want to be open to fix it. I want to have more communication with you guys. I know it's not all my fault, but I want to do my part in fixing our sisterhood. And she's like, everything in my life happened so fast. I had so much going on. I have a new baby. She's like, and I know it's partly my fault, but I'm here to fix it. And, she was saying, sorry. She said sorry, but she said, I've been going through things. Meaning, she's been going through real life, and she's dealing with things on her, within herself. People do that sometimes. So, as she's sitting there, she's crying. Vanessa's kind of feeling her pain. She's like, okay, we can fix this. We can start to fix this. The other sister is sitting there, and yes, she's crying. She is crying. But then she just goes in and say, you were mean to me as a kid. So I tried for years to be nice to you, and you just would not reciprocate that. And Angela and Vanessa both like, we not trying to rehash that. We trying to say we wasn't close. We need to fix it, and we want to do that now. And the other sister, she trying to rehash some shit from the childhood. You can't fix your sisterhood or your bond with anybody in your family if you're bringing up old shit. The most a person should be able to do is say, hey, I fucked up. My bad. I apologize. I know it's my fault too. Let's move forward. If you try to sit and rehash every bad thing that person has made you feel, it's going to cause an argument. It's going to forever be an argument. And that's what it's going to be. So, you were mean to me as a kid. And Esther was like, but we were kids. You would kick me out of the room. She was like, I was a teenager. I was probably on the phone with a boy. You know how many times my sister has kicked me out the room or told me to shut up? You do that as sisters, as kids, because that's what kids do. Okay? It doesn't mean, they's like, you made me feel like you hate me. We get that. She's already said she's sorry. and that she know it was probably her fault for having that distance, but she wants to fix it. I feel like bringing up the other bullshit means you're trying to keep a divide, because you ain't trying to fix it at all. You can't want to bring up old stuff and fix stuff. That's not how it's just not gonna work. So she's like, I just don't want to put any energy into fixing this, and she kind of gets up and walks out. And that's kind of how it went off. It was, for me, it was crazy, because that's just not how you handle things. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the next episode to see how they can go forward from this part. I think it was big of Angela and Vanessa to both admit that their relationship has been strained for a while. It's not anything new. They both realize it. They haven't been as close, and that happens sometimes when you get older, when the siblings start having children, when people start, it happens. You might not talk to I used to talk to my brother every day, but we were in high school, and he had like just went to college. You know what I'm saying? But I'm 35, he's 33, maybe 34. So I don't talk to my brother every day. I don't talk to my sister every day. But it's because we have lied. My brother is married to my sister-in-law. My sister has my nephew. You know, I'm doing different things with, you know, we grew up and we are living our own lives. So we can't talk every day, all day. We can't. But when we need to, we do. And when we need to have conversations, we do. So I feel like the other sisters should kind of hopefully be able to move past the stuff that happened when they was kids, because they're adults now. You know, you mad at me because I put you out my room as a kid? Come on now. We can't rehash all of that. So, you know, it was a crazy episode. I can't stand Brianna. That's the whole point of my review. So, thanks for tuning in. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I am Jay Lee. This is Jaylee's Corner. Peace.